mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat
2024 Rivian R1S/R1T dual motor review, towing, off-roading, and tech. We visit the Rivian factory to learn more about the company's in-house designed and built dual motor powertrain and sample some of its capabilities. We've already tested the new Rivian R1T dual motor performance truck and found it to be just 0.2 seconds slower than the R1T quad motor. Now, to illuminate the tech that allows half the motors to accelerate about 90% as hard, the company invited us to its Normal, Illinois plant, where we also did some towing, rock climbing, and a couple test track laps. Here's what we learned. First, other cool new Rivian stuff. Manual tonneau cover. To save a few dollars, pounds, and precious cubic inches of bed space, there's now a 4-panel rigid tonneau cover option. The interlocking panels are formed of aluminum extrusions that slip into the channel the powered unit uses. They're rated to support a distributed load of 300 pounds. Think deep, wet snow, not people standing on it. The aftmost panel includes spring-loaded latches that can lock it into place in any of 4 positions along the track. Pulling down on a nylon loop unlatches it. A carrying case stores the panels and fits in the gear tunnel. Camp mode leveling. Whether you've mounted tents to the roof and bed racks or simply have someone sleeping across the rear seat, everyone sleeps better on a flat, level bed, which a new feature provides by instructing the suspension to raise or lower each corner within its range of travel to achieve level. 64 to 80% power, 67 to 91% torque, 100% towing. Base dual motor models will produce 533 HP and 610 lb-ft of torque. Software programming gives performance models a sport mode and UPS output to 665 HP and 829 lb-ft, drawing from the large or max pack batteries, and it can't hurt that the power units in the dual motor save roughly 120 pounds per vehicle versus those in the quad motor. The performance programming is technically flash upgradable, although Rivian has no plans to offer it as an after-sale upgrade. Base vehicles will surely feel considerably slower than a dual performance or a quad. The performance truck launches hard enough most folks won't notice much difference, though at higher passing speeds, say 60 to 80 mph, there's less of a shove to the back. Tow ratings for all dual motors match those of the 835 HP, 908 lb-ft quad motor, 11,000 pounds for the R1T, 7,700 for the shorter wheelbase R1S. We sampled an R1T performance hauling a 9,800-pound trailer and noted amply brisk acceleration and impressive levels of deceleration on Regan alone. An integrated trailer brake control is built into the screen, and a steering wheel button can order up momentary trailer braking, handy to rein in a bit of sway from a wind gust. Good, not great off-road. 4-wheel independent torque control is the quad motor's off-road superpower. We tiptoed up the Rivian plant's rock garden with barely any slippage in a quad motor R1T set to rock crawl mode, one of 5 modes, but in the dual motor, which offers but a single overarching all-terrain mode, we could sense tires braking traction, then individual brakes activating so a wheel with traction could take over. It still easily scaled the impressive obstacle, just not as serenely as the quad. Designed, developed, manufactured in-house. For the quad motor's origin motors, Bosch supplied rotors and stators to Rivian's specifications, but the new Enduro motors, powering the Amazon Prime vans since the beginning of 2023, were designed, developed, and are being manufactured in Normal. Ditto the power inverters, using parts from a more robust, simplified supply chain that should eliminate the delivery delays suffered over the past 2 years. And soon a lithium iron phosphate, LFP, standard battery pack like the ones powering the vans will join the current large pack. The long-promised Max Pack will become available on dual-motor models only, with newer chemistry that packages within the size, and roughly the mass, of a current large pack. Note, Rivian chooses not to publicize energy capacity of its packs, but they're widely expected to be 105 kWh, 135 kWh, and 180 kWh. 35% cost savings. CEO RJ Scaringa confirmed that the all Rivian-produced motors, inverters, and LFP standard battery configuration combined to reduce materials cost by 35%. The savings passed along to buyers of the base adventure-grade dual-motor R1T and R1S with that pack will be about 15%, with 2023 Rivian R1T and R1S pricing starting at $74,800 and $79,800 for the adventure dual-motor standard battery setup. Large and max pack options will add $6,000 and $16,000, respectively, with the performance package adding another $5,000. Powertrain Tech Deep Dive. Double-stacked hairpin stator. Rivian opted against the new trend of inserting woven or braided stator windings radially into the stator housing as Lucid and ZF have recently introduced. Instead, 240 hairpins of 13 different shapes are inserted axially, with their ends robotically welded. Silva Hitti, Rivian's electric power conversion director, explained that Rivian's design allows windings connected to two of the three electrical phases to occupy the same slot in the stator, with paper insulators separating them. This way 48 larger slots can provide 96 phase channels worth of torque ripple smoothing, whereas the others must use more, smaller slots, filled by smaller copper bars from one phase each. And the machinery tasked with forming and inserting the paper and hairpins, then bending and welding up the ends really must be seen to be believed. Oil cooling. The older Tech quad motor design used water cooling and a more conventional hairpin stator winding, but to improve the continuous power capability, there's a new oil cooling system that routes pressurized oil into the rotor shaft, up through holes in the forward and aft portions of the rotor before flowing out 4 ovoid channels at the front and rear of the rotor. From here, centrifugal force sprays oil onto the ends of the copper winding turns. This change reportedly lowers Enduro's operating temperature at peak power by 36 degrees Fahrenheit, relative to origin, boosting the peak continuous power that can be achieved. In-house integrated inverters. Scarcity of the chips all EVs rely upon for their power inverters was a major cause of production delays, so Rivian has insourced production of the inverters and streamlined its supply chain to reduce the likelihood of such troubles going forward. It employs both silicon IGBT chips and silicon carbide MOSFET chips. SiC chips convert DC to AC and back with better than 99% efficiency, while silicon does the job at around 98%. That seemingly small difference can boost range by 3%, but at a cost of well over $100. So, supply chains permitting, the always-on front motor will get SiC, while the disconnecting rear will use silicon. Mechanical torque biasing. Quad-motor vehicles fit larger, more powerful motors at the rear with equivalent gearing front and rear. Dual-motor models flip that script with equivalent motors and lopsided gearing, 11.04:1 front, 13.70:1 rear. Each drive unit incorporates an open differential, with ABS programming to brake individual wheels and provide virtual torque vectoring. To save energy, the rear unit incorporates a clutch that disconnects on the fly whenever the vehicle is cruising, then reconnects under power, or when in sport and tow modes. There's no conserve mode that locks the vehicles in FWD, and this change is expected to prolong front tire life.
The noose, it fits some loose shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah, there's There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through.